Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a kind of first impression and eyeshadow tutorial on the new Soph and Revolution Extra Spice eyeshadow palette. So obviously Soph has come out with a eyeshadow palette before, but now she's kind of got like a little collection. So I'm going to do a tutorial using the new eyeshadow palette, which is this. And then she also came out with 3 different lipsticks. I've got 2 of them here, so I'm going to show you those and give you my thoughts and do this kind of like a first impressions video. If you'd like to know my thoughts on this palette and the lipsticks, then be sure to give the video a thumbs up and just keep watching. This collection did actually come out, like, I think it's been about 2 weeks maybe, I'd want to say, and I just haven't had time to actually film this video, so I'm finally doing it now. So this is the eyeshadow palette. Obviously this is the kind of carton for it, so that's what it looks like. Obviously I don't have the packaging for her old palette, but I can show you the palettes and compare them. So obviously it's with Revolution, Makeup Revolution. They've just obviously changed their name, so they're just Revolution now. The carton that it comes in for the eyeshadow palette, then she also came out with 3 different lipsticks. They're kind of a satin formula, I think, so they're not completely matte or they're not like super glossy, they're just in between and they're just satin. And I think that was a really good move to make, because not everyone, like she said this in like her reveal video, that, you know, not everybody likes really matte lipsticks. I know I don't, I think I prefer satin. So she's got 3 lipsticks, I got 2 of them. There were, I think the other one was called Fudge, and then there's Syrup and Cake, which are the 2 that I got. I didn't get Fudge just because it's a kind of more of a dark brown, so if you do want to see what that looks like, then she has done loads of tutorials using it, so you can just go to her channel and have a look at the colour. Price wise, the eyeshadow palette retails for £10, which is the exact same price as her old eyeshadow palette, and you get 18 shades in here. And you do get less than her old eyeshadow palette. In this one you get 24, you do only get 18 in this one, and they're the same price, they're both £10, but it's still really affordable, like it just is, it's still very affordable. Then the lipsticks are £4 each, which is super affordable. So yeah, just take the palette out and then I'll show you like a comparison compared to her old eyeshadow palette. So obviously I've never used this before, I don't think I've even swatched any of the shades yet, but this is what the palette looks like. It's that kind of mirrored plastic, which I think is really nice, and it's a rose gold colour, and then it says Soph in a kind of nude shade there, and it's just kind of the complete opposite to this, which is her old palette. So obviously that was nude packaging and then rose gold writing, so they just flipped that around, which I think was really nice. And then on the back it's just got obviously the label. So like I said, there's 18 shades in the new one and there was 24 in the old one, and they still retail for the same price. I'm personally not bothered because it's still really affordable for what you get. Being honest, I like how the new one looks more than the old one. This one obviously is the old one, and then the bottom one is the new Extra Spice one. Different and brand new shades. I don't think she's got any of the exact same shades, like duplicated any of the old shades and just put them in the new one, which I think is really good. So yeah, there's no duplicating of any of them, but yeah, they're the 2 palettes side by side. I'm going to take Cookie Dough, which is this shade right here, and I'm going to pop that into the crease as the transition colour. Also, another thing that I really like is that they've put the names underneath each shade. In the old palette, she hasn't done that. She just had the, you know, that clear plastic slip that kind of goes inside, but they're actually on the palette in this one, so that's something I do like even more as well. It's just handy for someone that does YouTube videos, it's helpful for me. What I found with Cookie Dough is that it's quite pigmented, it's paid off, like the colour payoff is quite good there, but I will say it comes off, I don't know if it's my skin tone, but it's showing up it's showing up a lot warmer than it looks in the pan, because if you look at it there, it looks more of like a cool tone brown if you look at it there, and look how it's come onto my eyes, like there it just looks very cool in the pan, and then really warm on my eyes. And here as well. On an even darker brown, so I'm going to take the shade Chocolate Orange, which is the warm brown here, and I'm going to keep this directly in the crease. take some of the purple shades now. So I'm going to take Mulled Wine, which is this one here, or I might take that. I might mix. I might use the shade 21, which is this one here, and then I might use this one after it. This one I feel like it didn't show up as pigmented as I thought it was going to, but I think I prefer that because I think that's a lot easier to blend and kind of work with it if it's not as pigmented, and you can kind of build it up. Halo eye, it seems to be looking like a halo eye, so we're just going to go with that. I'm going to take Mulled Wine, which is that purple underneath it, and just put this on the outer corner and the inner. This dark purple over here. It looks brown on camera, but it's not. It's a really deep purple. It's called Enchanted, which I love because she's named that after a Taylor Swift song, and it's actually my favourite song of hers as well. So I'm gonna take Enchanted and do the same thing and just put it on the inner and the outer. I'm gonna take 21 again, which was that pinky red from the palette, and I'm gonna just kind of reblend that into the crease again. Some concealer and just apply it kind of in the middle, just in the center of the eye where I'm going to pop that other shade. I'm going to take the shade Romance, like I said, to pop in the center. Okay, so I thought I'd just try it dry, and it's actually really pigmented. So I'm like kind of pressing it in and then moving it around kind of where I want it to be. But look at that, that's dry with a brush, like I said, so that's pretty good. Intensify it a little bit more. I really like how that turned out. I think it's pretty cool. I do want to do something on the brow bone, I think, in the inner corner, so I'm going to take this shade here, which is called Everyday. I'm just going to finish this other eye off camera and then apply mascara and eyeliner and all of that. Then I'll be right back to go through the lipsticks. So I just went ahead and finished off the rest of the eyes, applied some eyeliner, mascara and all of that. So this is what the eyes look like. Really happy with this. I like how everything blended, and I'm just a big fan of those eyeshadows. So moving on to the lips now, that's kind of the last part of her collection. So like I said in the intro, I only have 2 out of the 3 lipsticks that she came out with, purely just because these are the only 2 that I think I would probably use the most. So I have Syrup and Cake, so I don't know which one's going to look best actually. So this is what Syrup looks like. I think I might go with that one. I know that's my favourite just from looking at it. And then this is Cake, which is a more pinky. Oh, that one might go actually, okay. Let me swatch them on my hand and you can see. So that's Cake right there, which is the more pinky toned one, and then you have Syrup there. I don't know which one to go for. I might go with Cake just because I feel like I'm going to wear Syrup all the time, so I might go with Cake because it just goes with the eyes as well. So I'm not going to apply lip liner, I just want to see how it performs just on its own. I think it's really comfortable. It was really easy to apply. I do think it's more like a, I'd say it comes off more pink when you apply it on the lips, and it looks a lot lighter than that. That does look quite dark. It looks quite light, but I think this would be really nice. And I think it kind of goes with the eyes. That is it for the collection, just to kind of like gather all my final thoughts and stuff. Eyeshadow palette, massive yes. Then I did find with the eyeshadow palette is though that I find that literally all of the shades are way more pigmented than her first palette. I don't know if there's been a change of formula or anything, I'd have to check, but I don't think there is, but I don't know, it feels like these are a lot more pigmented than the other palette. It onto the eyes, and just you can tell obviously when you first apply it, but also just from kind of when you dip your brush into the pan, like you can see Romance that I've obviously just used today. It's kind of made a mark in the palette, and even the matte, it's kind of dug it in, and I feel like more pigmented shades kind of leave more of a mark in a palette, if that makes any sense to anyone. But because like her old palette, I've used it so much, but it doesn't look like it looks like I hardly touched it. If you look at it like that, obviously you can tell a little bit, but there's no like digs in any of the pans. But I've used this palette so much, so I do think that there is a formula change somewhere, but I think this new one is a lot better. I prefer this one way more than this formula, so yeah, I do really like that. Lipsticks, obviously these are something I'm probably gonna have to test in the next few weeks and stuff, and I'll just let you guys know if I use them in another video, but it feels really comfortable and it applied very nicely. So this whole collection right now, as first impression, 10 out of 10 would recommend. And that is the end of the video, guys, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed today's first impressions. If you did enjoy it, then be sure to give this video a thumbs up so I can keep doing more first impressions for you. And also let me know what you think of this palette, if you're going to get it, if you're not, if you've tried it, what are your thoughts on it. Just leave me a comment and let me know what you think. And thank you again so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe as well, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!